Standard 5th, Subject EVS 2, Chapter 1, What is History? Students, in this chapter you will learn about history, a science that tells us about events in the past. The scientific method of history. Third, history and us. And finally, the past and the future. So let's begin with history, a science that tells us about events in the past. Last year in 4th standard, you studied the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his mission of establishing Swaraj, isn't it? The time before the birth of Shivaji Maharaj was about 400 years before now, or in other words, the time 400 years ago. For our convenience, we divide time in different ways. Often we use words like now, some time ago, after some time, or you even use words like today, yesterday, tomorrow, or for more duration of time we use the words like this year, next year, etc. When we use these words, we are actually measuring time in our minds. Now, today, and this year are terms that indicate the present. So, when you say about present, right now I am in standard 5th, that means you're talking about your present. Some time ago, yesterday, and last year are terms that indicate the past. Last year you were in 4th standard. So, this is how you indicate your past. And after some time, tomorrow, next year are words that indicate the future. Yes, the time that has already gone by is the past. The time that we are in now is the present. The time that is yet to come is the future. The past includes many events that have already taken place. Let's take an example. If you are 10 years old today, that means it's your present. You are 10 years old today. This also means that the event of your birth happened 10 years ago in the past. So the day of your birth is a past event. Similarly, from today onwards, after 10 years, so after 10 years from now, that is in future, you will be 20 years old. That is, in future, you will be grown up 10 years more. So the time gone by between today and the day of your birth is your past. The past is the life of a person. Okay, the past in the life of a person is denoted by the time that has already passed by. The science that tries to understand past events is called history. So now let us learn about the scientific method of history. In standards 3rd and 4th, as part of EVS, that is environmental studies, we have become acquainted with various sciences. The special characteristics of all these sciences is that the facts or evidence can be tested in experiments which can be repeated anywhere, anytime. So, for example, like in a laboratory. The method of using a number of different tests to determine whether the evidence proof is reliable is called the scientific method. There are many things that happened since our birth that we may not know about. However, our grandparents or parents or others often tell us amusing stories of our childhood. Those stories are a part of their memory. However, when different people tell us about the same event, we find differences in the narrations. It makes us wonder which one is right. We need to examine the details of each narration carefully to decide the correctness of the facts. It is not possible to conduct experiments to recreate the events that have happened in the past. Like, for example, in science, you can conduct experiments, but here in history, to remember what has happened in the past, we cannot conduct any experiments. Therefore, the method of presenting history is different from that of other sciences. Even so, history uses the scientific method at every stage, namely while looking for and collecting evidence. Examining the evidence means examining the proofs that we have got and while putting it together. When the required help is also taken from other sciences. That is why history is considered to be a scientific discipline. History is not written solely on the basis of imagination. Whatever comes to mind is not made as history. It has to be examined. Ancient objects, structures, sculptures, pots, coins, inscriptions, copper plates, books, manuscripts, traditional stories, and songs remembered over many generations, etc., are the sources of history. The sources of history are of three main types. First, material sources. Second, written sources. And third, oral sources. In order to find out what happened in the past and how it happened, evidence available from all these sources is collected and thoroughly examined to determine its reliability. With the help of the evidence that stands this test, past events are put in a proper sequence and a historical account is written. This is the scientific method. Now let us study about history and us. The study of science helps us to find the answers to many questions. For example, environmental science studies the problems of degradation of the environment, pollution, etc., where the environment is harmed, and looks for the solutions. In the same way, every science has its own area of study. History studies what basically? Yes, history studies events of the past. Individual or collective actions of human beings have consequences. They result in an environment that may either favorable or unfavorable for the progress of the society. This affects our day to day life. Let's take an example. For example, if the people of a village work together and help one another, the village makes good progress. However, if the people cannot come together and they simply keep fighting or there is violence, it puts obstacles in the way of its development. You must have seen when there are some strikes going on around in the city and something is lit on fire, it simply creates obstacles in the progress of human society. So, history attempts to find out answers to many questions by studying the way of thinking of past societies, their actions, and the consequences. Means simply, we don't have laptops, computers, mobiles, cars today. It is all the consequences of our actions in the past. The study of history makes it possible for us to study what is and what is not favorable for the progress of human society. History thus provides us with guidelines about how we should behave today in order to shape a good future. By telling us the life stories of great people, history also serves to inspire and to motivate us. So, we should always read biographies of great people. By studying history, we get to know about the give and take that took place between our own and other civilizations. We learn about the progress of human civilization. We also understand how people's way of life went on changing. Every village, city, district, state, and country has its own history. Similarly, the earth, its mountains, water bodies, the animal world, mankind all have their own history. Every science too has a history. It tells of the many scientific discoveries that brought about important changes in the human civilization and of the scientists who made those discoveries. Now that we have studied about history and its relation to us, let us study about the past and the future. The past, present, and future are linked by a continuous chain of events. For example, the Indian people fought against the British government to get independence. This is a historical action, the history of India's independence. As a result, India became an independent nation on 15th August 1947. So, we can say that independence was a consequence of an action, that is, the Indian people's struggle for independence. In this way, the events of today are linked with past actions. So, past and present are linked together. When we understand this, we realize that the future depends on past events. This is what we learn from history. Another example, we learn that man began to make tools from materials available in nature, that he learned how to make use of fire, and that he invented the wheel. The next generations added to these developments. Technology developed further hand in hand with the physical and intellectual development of man. The process of is going on continuously even today. You can see so many inventions today which were not there in the past. So inventions of today are only possible on the foundation of the discoveries and inventions of the past. So this is how it is very important to know that the past and the future are linked by a continuous chain of events. Now let's learn about archaeology. Do you know this? In many places we see remains of objects and structures created in ancient times by human societies of those times. All of those remains are not always found above the ground. Some get buried under layers of soil that floods or strong winds deposit over them in the course of many years. The remains of human and animal skeletons also get buried in the same way. The science that studies past cultures with the help of ancient remains is called archaeology. The Latin word archaeos means ancient. So, what do archaeologists do? Archaeologists locate, dig out, and study ancient remains. The method of digging the ground in order to bring out light any ancient remains that lie buried there is called archaeological excavation. Such excavations are done very carefully, and each layer of soil that is dug up is examined scientifically. The first step is to identify and make a careful record of places where such ancient remains may be found, like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro cities. You will learn about it in Standard 6th. The next step is to plan where to dig and how to go about the digging. While studying the ancient remains, archaeologists try to find answers to many questions like the following. First, to which period do the remains belong? Second, to which civilization do the remains belong? Third, what was the daily life of the people of that civilization like? Fourth, what kind of relations did those people have with people of other civilizations? And fifth, in what ways did they make use of the natural resources in their surroundings in order to meet their own needs? So, this is how archaeology goes on about studying about ancient remains. So, that's all about archaeology. So, students, I hope you have followed this chapter based on the topic What is History? Do read the chapter from your textbook for a better understanding. Stay safe, keep learning, and thank you.